Well, hey, you're here. You've made it. Hoorah! And where is here, you may ask? Good question. This is, of course, the MindGriller Server. And I'm Gravity, and over there's Cow. He's a little bit mad at me, so he's not going to come over here and say hello. Nah, something about not sleeping and whatever it was, I didn't understand. His diction is not quite what it used to be. Inasmuch as heretofore and so forth, I should add that any moment now I'm going to get a very, very, very important phone call. From whom, you may ask? Good question. May I just say, ever since the FTC leveled the fine in 2019 for $5 billion, our caller hasn't been quite the same. So as not to break a personal confidence, I will just leave it at that. Now, if I may also add, once hidden internal turmoil, now fitting like a hazmat suit notwithstanding, with the rich and famous, always a little patience. Anyways. Now the most observant among you may have noticed that Cow and I are outside again. And why is that, you may ask? Well, Cow found the inside of the factory way too spooky. So we came out here. Cow and I try quite hard not to sleep through the nights. But tonight, Cow and I are gonna head out on a mission. And what is this mission, you may ask? Good question. But like all good mystery writers, I'm gonna attach a lengthy epilogue to the end of the book so you can't turn to the last page and peek and find out who done it. Grammar notwithstanding. I will say that Cow and I have just a short journey to our destination. It's going to be quite exciting. Are you excited? I'm excited. Now, Cow's mad at me. I don't think he's going to be excited. If he is, he's not going to let it show on his face. Now, the most retentive among you may have noticed that previously I referred to mystery writers. And perhaps also the majority of you are familiar with Agatha Christie. Her Miss Marple and Hercule Poirot characters are quite well known. The two are quite famous, but did you know there's a third? Now, before I continue, I suspect that I sense some of you are rolling your eyes. GravityFiller has gone all gray old lady on us, which is totally not true. The most observant among you may have noticed my mohawk is in fact orange. Now, if it were colored, which it's not, Clairol Medium Auburn 6A would be a precise match. Anyways, what I'm getting to, the surprise reveal at the end, is that Agatha Christie actually wrote something that is quite meta. Now, before my, if I may say, fascinating interleaved footnote, I mentioned that there was in fact a third character who stars in Agatha Christie mysteries. But actually, there's a third and, well, a fourth. I am speaking of Tommy and Tuppence. Tommy Beresford is a pleasantly ugly, nondescript man, but nonetheless, he possesses the demeanor of a gentleman and a sportsman. Tuppence Cowley, on the other hand, is portrayed as a charismatic and impulsive woman. She has a determined chin and large gray eyes. And although she lacks conventional beauty, her character exudes charm and strength. And they, in post-war London, open a detective agency. Willing to do anything, go anywhere. No unreasonable offer refused. It is this business slogan that first attracted Cow and I to their stories. I think it hits a little bit close to home for Cow. And one of the 5 books in particular is quite interesting to Cow and I. Specifically, it is the short story collection called Partners in Crime from 1929. Why is this, you may ask? Good question. Each of the stories, apart from the introductory stories, is a pastiche of another writer's work. For example, The Affair of the Pink Pearl was written in the style of R. Austin Freeman's Dr. Thorndyke. The Unbreakable Alibi was written in the style of Freeman Willis Crofts Inspector French, which is all quite good and quite clever. But then there is the last story. The title is The Man Who Was Number 16, and unbelievably, it is written in the style of Agatha Christie's own Hercule Poirot. There are quite some moments in the story which appear as machine age inception. For example, Tommy affects some of Poirot's distinctive mannerisms and ways of speaking, including referring to his little gray cells. And there is a reference to The Big Four, which was Poirot's then current serial, acknowledging it as a contemporary literary work within their world. This construct creates a sort of metafictional element wherein Agatha Christie's own characters are aware of her other creations. And familiar characters from the Poirot stories also appear in this one, including Poirot's frequent foil, Inspector Japp. And finally, The denouement of the story, in which the solution of the mystery is to be presented, takes place in a theatrical manner, which is, of course, j'accuse, it was you the whole time, and you! Idiomatic of Poirot's penchant for his grand reveal of the culprit. Now, freaking creepers, you will excuse me while I nom nom nom. Well, now one is never enough. Which reminds me, now is the time for a message from our sponsor. Today's episode is brought to you by the kind people at Reeve's Cookie Cutter Clumps. Reeve's Cookie Cutter Clumps, a mystery in every box. Anyways, we're here at the secret location. And there's no entrance. But that has not stopped Cow and I before. Have scaffolding will travel, or in this case, break and enter. Now, the most retentive among you will remember that during my luxurious David Foster Wallace cruise, which turns out really is a supposedly fun thing I'll never do again, we spied through the windows and unbelievably there was a mob farm. But Cow and I have no such intentions of going there. No. As it turns out, I am particularly curious about what is going on in the other tower. Ominous lightning strikes notwithstanding. Yikes. Now, Cow, my friend, I hope you're not afraid, because then you're gonna get the flops wet, followed by musty horns and dry heaves, and no one wants that. Now, between you, me, the NSA, the CIA, and the FBI, I can tell on Cow's face that he's quite afraid. I say this only to acknowledge, once Cow's afraid, it's not gonna be easy to get him into a boat. Now, I could lure him over with some wheat. Cow loves just the sight of wheat. Yeah, I don't know if that makes me a very good friend. I keep showing him the wheat and then I never give him any. Now I would vow to change my ways and turn over a new leaf. But I suspect while Cow and I are trying to break into this building is not the best time. Look here, we seem to be making some progress. Cow, hold your udders. Cow, are you excited? I'm excited. Here we go. Yikes, listen. If I may just this once counsel the nail-biters among us, and that means both of you, that I am well aware of the trope wherein thunder and lightning portend ominous things to come. But it's nonetheless quite spooky. And who am I to pay attention to ominous warning signs anyways? I would never. Hey, look, Cow, we're almost there. I wonder who's keeping the lights on in this place. I think I see some barrels, but otherwise it looks dusty and deserted. Now, Cow, I hear something. Did you eat okra for breakfast again? You know how that makes your stomach do the kickball change. Now, Cow, I know you don't want to come in, but you can't stay out here on the raft. There's nothing like your patience being tried by your bovine best friend. Now, it looks like Larry, Moe, and Curly are sleeping. Now, it's quite loud upstairs, and I'm not one to let a mystery pass me by. This building has quite some fancy masonry work. Look here. You have to duck to go underneath it. I don't think that's OSHA compliant. Look! It's slimes. What the jumping Jehoshaphat is going on here? Look, do you see what I see? Up there on the chandelier is a map. Now that's quite curious. I suspect these slime are a sort of booby trap to keep people away from the map. Yeah, I kill one and they get smaller and then they can come down and kill me. But the map is too far away to get a good look at it. Now this is a tricky situation. Perhaps I can use my little gray cells to come up with a solution. It may be the case that the cleverest among you are thinking I should ask Cow. But as Hercule Poirot once said to Captain Hastings, my dear friend, I fear the chances of you solving this mystery are as slim as finding a straight hair in my mustache. Now that's a mind-bendingly equivocal phrase if I've ever heard one. Wink, wink. Now at times Hercule was known for being a bit of a big Belgian weenie, if I may be so bold. You're gonna have to excuse me while I take this call. I wonder where my mustache comb is. Hello, GravityFiller's residence. GravityFiller speaking. No, I'm not mad that you called. Happy that you won. I've been quite emotional. Now, perhaps I should let you go. I'm sure you're quite busy and have many things to do. I wasn't referring to golf or scalp tightening. You're gonna give a job to him? Now, are you gonna bring Sean back? How about the mooch? Yeah, well, anyways, I gotta go now. Yeah, that's the sound of the upstairs neighbors. They're quite loud. Conga dance. Ah, you're watching people do the conga dance. Okay. Now I'm copying a feel on rich donors' wives, I guess is a thing. Ah, well, I gotta go. Nothing personal, but suddenly I'm feeling a little bit queasy. Ah, well, now there's a lot of conspiracy theories wherein you are the victim. But nonetheless, I gotta go. Goodbye. Goodbye. So long. Now, I think there's a saying, a man without a dog tells you something about the man. Anyways, I need a plan on how I'm gonna see that map. And as the cleverest among you may know, I do my best thinking while I'm sleeping. Now I feel a little bit like Goldilocks in that story about the three bears, who evidently were vacationing in P-Town. Good night. Well, hey, good morning. Do you ever have dreams that you can't remember? I have them all the time. Even when I was young, I didn't remember my dreams. I don't know why that is. Hey now, I just had a thought. And another one. And another one. I have an idea how I'm gonna solve the mystery of the map on the ceiling. But it's going to involve me going back to the dusty old factory and to the lodge. Oh, and maybe to the factory with the moss farm. I hope Otani doesn't step on my foot again. Now, Cow, I'm gonna have to do a lot of traveling. I don't know if it's the best idea that you come with me. Now, Cow, if you come back to the factory, Otani might be there. And you know what that means. He may have his dog with him. He's quite an ankle-biting, spoiled and pampered pooch with his own TikTok and Insta and Facebook page. And as you may know, its MySpace Scenester page is quite terrifying. The crimped polecat hairdo is quite a thing. Cal, I'm confident these three Earth-sign and inexplicably hirsute men will invite you to stay here. And seeing that we're at an actual cliffhanger moment, all is promised to be revealed in the next spine-tingling episode. Are you excited? I'm excited. Cal, is this your excited face? I thought so. And due in part to Cal's bone-chilling separation anxiety, I'm afraid it's time to say our goodbyes. Goodbye, so long, see you later. Totsiens. Totso!